the notion of beauty, really. It doesn't have any social or political loaded comment in it. It's just about the sheer visual beauty of the things that I like to look at. They can be quite varied, but in this particular exhibition, the two subject matters really are Burn Point, which is close to where I live, but also some major works from Central Australia where I hitchhiked from home to see where I would end up, and ended up at Uluru, which was a very humbling encounter, to be honest. The people that picked me up and spoke about their lives was really quite special. They're quite representational for me, which is unusual. And I think I've painted them that way out of kind of respect for that landscape, but also wanting to push myself as well, to see how realistic, if you like, I could go, but still try and push the medium as much as I could. So there's kind of an emphasis on painterliness and colour. The thing between the two subject matters really is the Central Australian works there. It's so saturated with these, these reds, red oranges, and umbers, ochres, and greens. There's one painting in particular I found myself looking, and it was just saturated in these vibrating greens because it had been the best rain that they'd had in 10 years. So it really caught my eye. But then there are other areas where it's still quite dry and sparse. I always try and leave some pictorial space in the painting, just as a rest, as a spell, as a stillness, and just a quiet contemplation and beauty, I suppose, in the work. The sculpture that I've made is I've tried to find coastal moonas or tea trees that have been weathered in some way and kind of twisted back into themselves or bent right around as a result of the elements, or maybe it's some genetic code in their DNA that forces them to grow like that. It's maybe a combination of both. The forms themselves are very interesting, particularly when you start combining the 2 or 3 forms, and you start to get some interesting space occurring in the materiality. And I've left, sometimes I'd cut the timber, but sometimes I'd break it, and they're sitting on stone bases, so there's this play of solidity and certainty juxtaposed with the fragility of the forms, which I quite like. I mean, they're archivally sound and very strong, but there's sort of a delicateness about them as well. There's something too, I think, about the landscape, which is it is what it is. It's just true, really, and honest.